Hello everybody and welcome to Mobility Friday, finally. For you anyway, it's actually Tuesday for me. At the moment anyway, obviously when you're watching this, it's Friday for me as well. For today, all you need equipment wise, if you've got one, is a foam roller. Alternatively, you can just use like a water bottle or something. Basically you just need something that's round. It doesn't need to be massively sturdy. Just something round that we can roll around on. And that's all you need. You don't need any bands, you don't need any straps or anything like that today. If you've got a mat, feel free to use it. I'm just going to do it on the carpet here, but that is it. Today we're going to start with a little bit of lower body. Last week we did a lot around glutes, hamstrings and hips. This week we're going to do it a little bit more around the spine and generally upper body. So I like to alternate it week on week, just so we've got a mixture of things to do. And put my sock on properly. Take my shoes off. I feel like I get more comfortable and move around easier with shoes off. It's definitely getting to that time of year now, hence the leggings, because this morning when I came in it was absolutely freezing and now it's actually quite warm, so not really sure I need these on, but too late now. So to begin guys, you don't need a roller, so let's just move that out of the way. We're going to start with lower body. So what I'd like you to do is set yourself up with both knees around 90 degrees. Let's put that forward a little bit. And we're going to go for a figure of fours. So try and keep the chest up as much as you can. Sometimes with something like this, you need something kind of like a door frame nearby, or a sofa, or a chair that you can hold onto. And what I'd like you to do is roll from where you are to the side and turn over that way. So what we're looking at doing is keeping the chest up and mobilising the hip joint as much as we can. So the hip joint rotates, round, and then back again. Head and chest stays lifted as much as you can. Now chances are, if you turn sideways on, as I do it, I find that the back will just arch forwards a little bit to stop me falling over backwards, which is fine. So you just want to get hips mobilised, hips moving. As you do it, if you've not done so already, don't forget to start your tracker, because important things, right? I tend to put cool down for this on the Apple Watch anyway. I'm not sure what you could put for like Fitbit or Garmin or Samsung do a watch as well, don't they? Nice, got one more each way. Yes. And then bring it onto your knees. We're just going to sit into child's pose. So the knees go a little bit wider. Let yourself drop down between your legs. Reach the hands forward so you get a nice stretch of the lats, the lower back. The hips open up. We're just going to hold it there for a few seconds, just trying to push the hips back. Now guys, once you've done that, I'm going to bring it forwards and lay face down on the floor, and then push the chest up, lifting the chest from the floor, but trying to keep the hips on the floor. So you might feel it in the spine, things just feel a little bit tight. Lower yourself back down, push up, sit back on the heels again, reach forward down your mat, back into child's pose. Just hold it there for 10-15 seconds, then we're going to roll through this a few times. Nice, bring it forwards, face down on the floor, hands under the shoulders, push up, keeping the hips in the floor, lift the chest up, look forwards. So you can see for me there's like that arch in the lower back, just getting the spine moving, stretching the abs out. Chest comes down to the floor, push up, sit back onto heels, reach forward down your mat, into child's pose. Try to creep your fingers a little further forwards, just get a deeper stretch of the lats, the shoulder blades, the hips. Nice, and one more, bring it forwards. Hands move under the shoulders, hips stay on the floor, push up. Nice guys, lower down. Push up, let's come seated. So the reason we lower down before we push up, when your spine's in that really arched position, we don't want to suddenly just try and turn it. We want to lower down so you're in a flat position and then lift yourself up from the floor. If you do a lot of yoga and things like that, chances are going from that extreme flexed spine to just really extending it. We'll be fine, but for the vast majority of us, it's not quite there yet. Come back to a seated position, then lay down on your back. I'm just going to go through a glute stretch. So place your right ankle on top of your left knee, or do the way around. Reach through, grab the back of the thigh, and pull it in towards you so you get a stretch through the glute of the ankle that's on top of the knee. I'm just going to hold it there, just try and stretch it out for 10-15 seconds. Nice. And just release, swapping over legs. Right ankle, left knee. Or the opposite way around to what you just did. Nice, just hold it in, that little squeeze in as well. Trying to get stretch that little bit deeper as you do so. Nice, then just release one leg. Flatten it on the floor, pull the other knee towards your stomach. Just get a stretch deep down in the hips. And swapping over legs. Pulling in nice and close, get a deep stretch. So looking at this muscle called piriformis, right down deep near the hip joint, under your glutes, under the big bum muscles. Nice. We'll do same again. So ankle on the opposite knee, reach through, pull it in, stretch through the glute. Just holding there for just 10-15 seconds or so. And swapping over. Nice guys, release one leg, pull the knee nice and close to the stomach, just flatten the leg on the floor, or extend it anyway, so it needs to be flat on the floor. And swapping around legs. Sounds like a dance class next door, or practicing for the winter show or something. Can't think what this song's called, don't know if you guys can actually hear it. Hopefully not, because that's usually when Facebook decides we're going to ban it because of the sound. Nice guys, release it there. Now what I like you to do is place your heels together, or you flat your feet together, your heels and your toes. Let's let the knees drop apart, so you look for a stretch down the inner groin. Let's let them fall wide. I'm just going to hold it there just for 15 seconds. It's weirdly quite relaxing when you listen to that. Nice guys, try and take it a little bit further. Just use your hands, just push it a little further down. And then when you're ready, bring it up. I'm going to still look for the similar kind of muscle on the inner thighs. So what I'd like you to do is come to kneeling, pop your hands on the floor, extend your right leg out, so we're looking to get a stretch down the inner right thigh there. Push the flat of the foot over towards the floor, and then you just got to push the foot away. And I sometimes find when I do this, I just need to kind of rock forwards and backwards a little bit, looking for the point where I get that stretch there on that inner thigh. Once I find it, I'm just going to hold it there for 15 seconds. We've got swapping over to the leg. So I'm going to do 2 on each side. So we're going to do both legs and then repeat it. Nice, about 5 more seconds. And swapping over legs. So this time extending the left leg. Goes out, foot flat on the floor. And this shifting that position forwards and backwards. Looking for that nice stretch down the inner thigh. Just holding it there. Nice guys, and release, swapping over legs again, bring the right leg out, foot goes flat on the floor, just shifting the body positions to find that stretch down the inner thigh. I'm just going to hold it there. Nice, and switching around legs, final one, so left leg goes out. Last one of lower body here really guys, and then we're going to start to move up in towards the spine. So foot goes flat on the floor. Sometimes, just like I did then, you start to find that you start to release out of it a little bit, unintentionally, but you just start to pull back a bit, which you want to try and avoid doing. about 15 seconds. Nice. Bring it back. So now what I'd like you to do is sit yourself up on your hands and on your knees. So your shoulders go over the wrists and your knees are just under the hips. So we're going to go through cat-cow position. So what I'd like you to do is tuck the chin, arch the back, and push the back as far up to the ceiling as you can. And then drop the chest, lift the chin looking forwards in front of you, let the hips tilt back, get the chest as close to the floor as you can. So trying to get that spine moving through that full range of motion forwards and backwards, and rolling through, tuck the chin, arch the back, drop the chest, lift the chin, and going again, tuck the chin, arch the back, rolling through, drop the chest. Nice guys, I'm going to go one more each way. So tuck the chin, arch the back, just squeeze in the floor away. One more, drop the chest, lift the chin, looking forwards in front. And just bring it back to neutral, tuck the hips under, hold it there. And to the next bit, we just need our roller. So for your roller, what I'd like you to do is go back into that same position we're just in and pop the roller just on the outside of your left hand. Now from the side here, what I'm going to do is pop my right hand on top of the roller with the palm facing the ceiling. Push the roller away, so I'm trying to drop my shoulder underneath and then coming back through. So turn your face onto the camera. I'm in this position here, hand goes on the roller, I'm dropping as far through as I can and then back in. So we're just going to go for 8 on each side. Just nice and smooth out and in. Now you imagine the spine now, all the little vertebrae, we're just trying to rotate them and twist them. And if ever you're doing any kind of spinal mobility and you do get any pain or discomfort, just stop it where you are. But getting the spine moving is really important just to help maintain flexibility. The spine is one of them, well, many joints that often does not move through the range of motion we need it to. Partly through us trying to protect it through fear of hurting the spine, which is quite understandable, but also just through lack of movement as well. Nice, and I think that was it. So I'm going to go swapping over sides. So this time it goes on the outside of my right hand, left hand sits on the back of it, thread through, and back up. So if this was absolutely perfect, my hips wouldn't be moving at all. So my shoulder dips through and underneath, but my hips don't. So we want to try and keep them as square as we can. Goes through, and back, through, and back. Nice, I'm just going to go for 3 more. I'm going to do a couple each side on these. Nice, one more. Just get a little pause on the furthest point. And squeeze back in. Nice guys. From there, just sit back in child's pose, so knees go apart. Just release off for a second. Just before we do it again. Sweeping both arms round towards the left. And to the right. Nice, and back to centre, reaching forwards. And bring it back up. I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to put the roller on the outside of my left arm again. Hands go flat on the floor. Hands on the back of the roller. Thread through and back. So similar to before, just going to do 8 on each side. 2. Just nice and smooth. 3. 4. 5. 6. Nice, I've just got one more. So just do it in your own time, guys. If you're a couple behind, that's fine. Just finish it and swap over when you're ready. your 8. Once you've done your 8, if you finish before me, I'm just going to drop into child's pose again. Nice. Once you've done your 8, into child's pose, so knees apart, creep the hands forwards. And sweeping around to the left. And sweeping around to the right. Bring it back to centre. So just sitting here for 15 seconds, so the bum pushes back, creep the fingers forwards. Shoulder blades just push down towards the floor. Nice guys, just bring it back up. And final bit, just come for a lie down on your back. I'm just going to do knee drops. So bring your knees up over your hips, lift your heels. I'm just going to drop over to the front of the room, keeping the shoulder blades flat on the floor. Let's use that hand just to grab the top of the knee, just hold it in a little bit more. So let's do the thread the kneel, but kind of in reverse. We're moving the lower body rather than the upper body. So it gets more movement around the lumbar spine, the lower spine, rather than top of the spine, which is thoracic spine, or part of it anyway. It's the way I remember it. Lumbar, lower, thoracic, top. And swapping over sides, knees to the back of the room. Nice guys, one more each side, drop into the front of the room. Holding in that stretch of the chest as well there. For me anyway. And one more to the back of the room. And just bring it to the centre. Grab off your knees, pull them in towards your stomach. Just rolling the spine through that way. Extend, feet flat on the floor. Let's look through the chest now. Elbows flat on the floor. Turn the palms over towards the ceiling. I'm just going to hold it there. As you do that, just feel free to close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths so you should really feel that the chest is opened out. Try and keep the elbows on the floor. Back of the hands just touch the floor. Then take a deep breath in. And out. Just go for 5 deep belly breaths. In your own time, guys, just bring it up seated, and we are done. I was fine, just like that last minute there where you take deep breaths. Anyone else feel like we just fall asleep? Possibly just me, but really relaxing it, just laying there taking deep breaths. Especially, I think, as part of it is you focus on the breathing rather than anything else going through your mind. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. That is us done for our workouts for this week. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you back in here on Monday morning. Have a lovely weekend, guys.